Hey peeps, this is Edo here for another Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Here with me is Nightshade.
Hello.
We last left off, we were in court, now we're going to recess, and yeah. That's basically what's happened.
Apparently you can get somebody straight into parking, get something, and come back in a acceptable fashion.
So let's go ahead and continue from that.
February 23, 11:56 a.m. District Court, not Crute. Defendant lobby number 2.
Mr. Wright?
Huh? What?
Are trials always like this with you? Like you're swimming up from the bottom of a lake, about to reach the surface, but no matter how hard you paddle, you never seem to get there?
Pretty much. Except today we're swimming in quicksand. So what happened to your sister anyway?
Apparently she got called off to the judge's chambers.
Why does it sound like they went to a dungeon? Ooh, to the judge's chamber.
Bailiff, bring her to my dungeon. I
Probably,
wish to interrogate her.
Probably something to do with that piece of cloth.
So, this is where we turn this trial around, right? Our only weapon, a tiny, insignificant piece of cloth.
I'm the one who's starting to feel tiny and insignificant, to tell the truth. Oh, no.
that part.
It's him. Again. God dang this guy.
They say you show a red cloth to a bull, it'll fire up its temper. That's what it told me when I was a young, at least.
Officer Marshall.
Thought I'll come take a look-see, and how's the trials going? Looks like I'm late. They've got the place locked down tighter than a fort in enemy territory.
What is going on over there anyway? All the police I've seen these last 2 days have been really on edge.
Don't you got enough on your plate without worrying about other people, compadre? You could be worrying about the chief prosecutor's taste in mufflers, for example.
Officer Marshall? The whole muffler thing didn't have anything to do with scarves. She wasn't even wearing a scarf.
Good old whiskey. You don't say. Now, don't that just beat all?
Uh...
I've seen the red breeze blow at her slender neck many a time.
Okay, that sounds really, really up high there on the creep factor.
I don't know what you're talking about, compadre. Here's some more whiskey. I saw it that day, too. She was wearing a red muffler.
What?
At the awards ceremony that afternoon. Edgeworth's seen it too, I reckon.
Reckon.
God,
what does that mean? In the photograph taken at the crime scene, she wasn't wearing a scarf.
So, Miss Starr wasn't mistaken.
Well, it's about time. Remember, Pun, sometimes you gotta grab the bull by the horns. And sometimes you just gotta let that bull go where it will. Time would tell.
Ugh,
I need
have
more
a
whiskey.
bad feeling about this.
So, what are we swimming in now, Mr. Wright?
If it's steak sauce, I can hook you up with some fine ribs. Oh, wee! But realistically, you're swimming in bull dung.
No!
February 23, 12:32 p.m. We are skipping lunch. District Court, Court Route number 9.
I'd like to resume? What's up? The judge keeps looking over at the prosecution. Uh-oh. Edward's not happy.
Is something wrong, Mr. Edward? Your face is blue, your lips are purple, you're sweating bullets. That furrowed brow, those grinding teeth, those watery eyes.
And the list goes on, etc., etc.
What's more, your eyes are unfocused, you're doubled over, your back is bent.
It can't be. This can't happen.
I wonder what happened to Mr. Edgeworth.
Well then, I believe it is time we continued on with this trial. During our recess, I had requested that the prosecution conduct an investigation. This is unacceptable! It seems our prosecutor is quite beside himself. How rude!
Excuse me. Knock knock?
Who's there?
Oh, Jesus, those glasses. They look so out of place. I mean, the orange was already out of place, but still.
Yes.
What's with this guy? A strange, stuffy aura seems to be filling the courtroom.
Hey, the temperature rose 5.7 degrees when that man came in. Who on earth is he?
Ah, it's you!
It's me.
He's not saying anything now.
Oh, hey. Sorry I'm late, Hudgy. The roads were packed. It's just me. Long time no see. Hey, Hudgy. Oh, you been? Swim much these days?
Ah, hello. No, I've been so busy.
Buzzy, smizzy, Hudgy, my boy. You have to make time to relax.
Yes, indeed.
Budgie. Seems to be his nickname for the judge?
I'm afraid you're right. Very afraid. Sorry, but who are you?
So you're Righto, the attorney. I've heard good things about you, son.
Thanks?
So sorry about our little Worthy giving you all that trouble, hey?
Worthy.
You know, we shall all go swimming together sometimes. Jolly!
Little Worthy?
Mr. Wright, you don't know the district chief of police?
Chief of police?
He's the top-ranking police officer in the entire district.
Name's Gant. Damon Gant. Pleased to meet you, everyone.
Great.
I would like to tell you're all under arrest.
So, what do we owe this honor today? It's been over 2 years since you last came to this courtroom, hasn't it?
Well, it's Worthy here. Look at the poor fellow. With this face, this bent over stature, this falling over air. I just thought I'll help out by bringing this.
Hey, that's
My sister's muffler.
so Miss Star wasn't just seeing things. When the crime occurred, Miss Sky really was wearing that muffler.
But to think that it was stuffed into that exhaust pipe. On little Worthy's scar, no less. I really need to do something about that hair. It's really quite embarrassing, even for us.
What's this?
It's what you'll call a switchblade knife. Quite perplexing, this.
Chief, what kind of outfit are you running?
Don't you see my orange suit?
Mr. Edward,
He's holding a prison. That's what. That's what they wear, right? Orange. How could they miss such a vital piece of evidence? If your investigators are this lax, how do you expect us to do our job?
Now, wait a minute, Worthy.
He's like, no! My desk says no!
I'm telling you to wait. Or didn't you hear me? Have a look at this document where it says, person in charge of investigation. There's no mistaking that signature, Miles Edgeworth.
Got you there, Edgepoo. That's no fair. The day of the crime, I had...
Your head in the clouds because you got an award. I know how you feel. But you're the person in charge. I'll expect a written apology.
What? Are you serious?
Don't be too upset. We'll find a way to clean up this mess that you made.
This is the first time I've seen Mr. Edward at a loss for words.
This kind of major blunder is unlike you, Mr. Edward. The court accepts this new evidence, but I'd like to ask the defense a favor first.
Yes?
Just to be sure, I'd like to take a look at the blade of this knife.
The blade, Your Honor? Well, I don't see why not.
Could you open it up for me, I wonder?
Yes, well, I think all you have to do is push that switch in.
If I cut my finger, Mr. Wright, I wouldn't be able to pound my gavel anymore.
Yeah, but if I cut my finger, I wouldn't be able to point it at people anymore. Pointing people or using the gavel? What's more important?
Which one is doing the verdict?
Come on, just hurry up and open it.
Gotta remind you how to do this mechanic.
Whooshing! Whoa! Don't scare me like that.
I'm the one who's scared.
Look at this knife blade. The tip is broken off.
And this dark red stain. Blood?
Switchblade knife added to the court record. Yay!
This does not excuse the actions of the police department. I would like to hear an explanation from the chief of police himself.
I'm terribly sorry, but I could ask you to testify for us. About the split between the prosecutors and the police and this knife.
Sure thing, not a problem, not even a little one, really.
Great, here we go.
Witness testimony, department in disorder.
Let's go.
This knife is special, but I can't say how here. Unless there's evidence to prove a connection between this knife and Goodman. That was a bad day for the department. We weren't in any shape to do an investigation. A detective was skilled at the police department, see? What a mess! The time of the crime, 5:15. Scary coincidence, eh? It's not officially linked to this air case, so I can't talk much about it.
Great.
There was a murder at the police department? A detective?
That's hush-hush information, Haji. We haven't exactly announced it yet.
Wait a second. You said 5:15. That's the exact time that Detective Goodman was killed at the prosecutor's office. Oh boy.
Oh, jeez. Order!
Anyway, we at the department were all flustered, as you might well assume. We're in the middle of a top secret investigation. Don't tell anyone, okay?
I think we understand the police department situation. Well, Mr. Wright?
2 detectives killed at the same time in 2 different places.
The chances of that are really slim. Scientifically speaking, of course.
Unless you use portals.
I'd like to exercise my right to cross-examine the witness.
Very well. However, keep your questions focused on the case at hand.
Cross-examination department in disorder.
Oh, great.
Throw it at me,
Let's go.
Righto.
Excuse me, special?
Hard to come by this particular knife anywhere else.
Might that special thing be this little tag?
Oh, sorry, Righto, but I can't say that now. Not that.
We've established that the knife in Goodman's chest was this knife. Now, why was there another knife at the scene of the crime?
That's quite a mystery.
And like a mystery, it's wrapped in something. A muffler.
I guess we'll keep pressing everything. This knife was found on the scene of our crime. I think that makes it connected to the case, don't you?
See, there's a lot of things that go on at the department I can't explain. Like why I'm wearing this orange suit. It's delicate, okay? Sorry, Righto.
Maybe there's something about the knife that will give us a clue. Let's examine that knife while we can, Righto.
Evidence that links this knife to Detective Goodman. I think perhaps the pieces are falling into place. I should try presenting the piece of evidence that's had me stumped all this time. So, how were things down at the department? I want to say it's this, though. I'm pretty sure it's this. Wait, did I do it too soon? We'll see. Wait a second.
At last, an honest-to-goodness objection.
This knife. This has to have something to do with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
Aha! An honest-to-goodness, what do you mean from the judge? This is great!
Look at the tag on this knife. It reads SL-92.
And this is important. Why?
Over here we also have a memo that was on the body of the victim.
What's this? 6 minus 7s, 12, 2?
Your Honor, it's upside down.
Upside.
The printed name on the memo makes it look like it's right side up. But turn it around and what do you get? Dun, dun, dun.
I can't read this.
Aha!
When he wrote this note, he was holding the paper upside down. SL9.
That's the same thing that was written on the knife's tag. Because I remembered that.
Good for me.
Order. Well, Chief.
Well. I guess the cat's out of the bag. You win, Righto.
I win? What a game is this guy playing?
This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
So this knife was stolen?
Yes, but on the day of the murder.
It was evidence, you say. Was it in fact a murder weapon?
Nice! Good show, little worthy. It was a murder weapon, as it happens. It was evidence from a case long since solved.
So this knife was stolen on the day of the murder, and it was found in the exhaust pipe of Edward's car.
Hard to think there isn't a connection there.
Yeah, this is the sign up. So now we're back on track.
Something didn't happen at the police department too, did it?
You got a good look in your eyes there, Ryder, my boy. Sharp, hungry.
Chief, did something happen, and why haven't I heard?
Why haven't you heard? Or why didn't you ask? No matter, I understand. You're busy. Busy. Whatever. What with Lana's case and all.
He was buzzy! Well, what happened? What happened to the police department that day? On the same day that a detective was killed in the prosecutor's parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department?
Yeah, that means we're down to one detective, and you know which one it is. That's a fact! Surprising, isn't it, Hudgy?
I am at a loss for words.
And the perpetrator? Do you have a suspect?
Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact.
Just arrested? That was quick.
But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Maybe you can help, Wright.
I suppose I could help if you help me by giving me data on your case.
Oh, good one. This gets sharp. Okay, here's the deal. I'll tell you one thing and one thing only.
When the victim died. Well, no, we already know it happened at the same time. I want to say where it was found. It's really the only thing we can ask for. So tell me, where was the victim found?
Well, I can't speak on where the corpse was
You
found.
told me! You gave me an offer! You can't refuse it! You can't back down now! That's
I'm the
cheating.
chief of police!
Cheating.
I can do what I want.
That's cheating!
But I can say the crime took place in the evidence room at the police department.
The evidence room? The evidence room. Once again. My brain. I love how in Link we are, Phoenix. Wait a second. I have heard of that.
The evidence room. Didn't he mention that in his testimony just now?
This knife was evidence in the case. It was stolen from the department's evidence room.
Dun, dun, dun. There's the connection between the two cases.
You seem happy, Mr. Wright.
Happy? We just got handed our ticket to go to town on this case. With the link between the two cases established, we finally have some leverage. Now we can get Gant to testify about the details. But which one do I...
It's not
present it to?
officially linked to this ear case, so I can't talk much about it.
Chief, the defense's position is simply this. The connection between these two cases has already been proven.
You don't say. Well, out with it, Righto. What's your connection?
Yes, out with it, Mr. Wright.
The connection is the place mentioned in the testimony we just heard. The knife found in the lot was stolen from the police department's evidence room. Not to mention the victim had written down the numbers on the knife's evidence tag. And we also know that a detective murdered at the police department was killed in that very same evidence room.
Indeed. There do seems to be too many connections for it to be a coincidence.
He's just giving me he's like, really? Please?
I was waiting to make that joke, but...
That's literally the look he was getting. I can't help it.
You two make a good pair.
Oh boy, do they.
It took my men 2 days to find out what you deduce right here.
So your men are stupid, is what you're saying?
Have you seen Detective Gumshoe?
Good point. Chief, I request that you release your information on the victim at the police department.
See, that's the tricky part. It hasn't been announced yet at all.
Can we get the information? Unofficially?
Sure, why not? It's unofficial after all.
What? Really?
Who would have guessed?
We're just gonna have to confiscate everyone's cell phones. No recording, no cameras.
Oh.
I'll cooperate, but I can't reveal the name of the victim in the department, okay?
If you're going to tell us a little, why not tell us everything?
Oh, well, case information is sticky stuff. You have to do everything properly.
Oh well, I guess I might as well try to get what I can out of him. ID number? Okay, how about you tell me the victim's ID number?
Sure, why not? It's not like you'll be able to tell who it is from that.
Of course not. You won't tell me their name after all.
We keep a tight lid on ID numbers, so don't go getting your hopes up. The number is 5842189.
Oh. Well, that's quite long.
And we have to remember these. It drives me nuts.
82. I can't do it.
Poor judge. You didn't even get the first number right.
Well, Miss Wright, does this tell you anything?
The ID number on the victim at the police department, 5842189. This tells me something! Actually, it does, Your Honor. It does. I think.
Meaning?
It has to be what I think it is. But what does this mean?
Well, let's hear what the defense has to say. You say the ID number of the detective who was murdered at the police department tells you something. What does it tell you?
Wait, no. Did I pass it? I think I passed it.
You did pass it.
Oh, yeah. It's the ID, right? Yeah. Witness.
What is it, Mr. Wright? You're grinning like a schoolgirl on prom night.
God damn it.
It's just, I got confused. And this is news? Huh? Just come out with both guns blazing like you always do. Police department, the prosecutor's office. 2 places, 2 detectives murdered at one time.
It's as if one of them was time traveling.
Actually, I happen to have a police ID number here.
Oh, is this yours?
No, Your Honor. I'm a defense attorney, remember? This is the ID number of our victim, Detective Goodman.
Shame on you, Righto. Personal IDs are top secret.
Detective Goodman's ID number is 5842189.
And this means what exactly?
Oh my god, Judge, really? Huh?
Wait, that ID number we heard from the chief earlier. That started with 82. I've forgotten.
You even forgot the first number wrong. The number the chief of police gave us was 5842189. Wait a second, Wright. What does this mean? That's what I want to know. The 2 ID numbers are identical. In other words, the detective killed in the police department's evidence room was Bruce Goodman. What does our witness think about that?
Oh! Sharp as attack, Righto. Sharp as attack.
But wait, Detective Goodman is our victim.
It's mine now.
He was killed at 5:15 in the underground parking lot.
Yet a detective Bruce Goodman was also killed at the police department, in the evidence room at the exact same time. That's impossible. So what we're saying is the same person was killed at the same time, and in a completely different location.
Order! Chief, what does this mean?
No. What I want to know is why didn't I hear about this? Yes, it's top secret, fine, but I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case.
Now, just wait a second, Worthy. No need to get all flustered.
Your Honor, the police department has made a grave error in this case.
Wait. I said wait. Or didn't you hear me? The oversight, the grave error? Mr. Hedgeworth, they're yours.
What? How dare...
We informed you yesterday. I believe it was our Officer Meekins who brought you the news.
Officer Meekins?
Mr. Wright, where have we heard that name before? Wait, aha!
Excuse me, please, Mr. Hedgeworth. Anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir.
You don't mean him.
According to Meekins, you didn't accept the report? Hard to believe.
But your officer, he told me. He said that report had nothing to do with the Lana Sky incident.
Detective Bruce Goodman, murdered in the police department evidence room. Mr. Edgeworth, the victim's name is written right on... Is written right?
Yeah, I know. It's misspelled.
Is written right on the top of the report.
Why didn't your officer tell me?
Honestly, I'm not sure if that officer was capable of making the connection. He did seem challenged.
I do my best! In any case, this is a serious error. A gross negligence of duty on your part, Worthy.
But sir, you could have submitted that report this morning to the court as evidence. Then I...
Please. No such luck this time, Worthy. Or shall I say, unworthy?
What?
Now, what was the second rule of evidence law?
Well, Mr. Wright?
Huh? Oh, well, it's, rule number 2. New evidence may only be submitted if it concerns the case on trial. And how is this relevant?
Normally, you submit a list of evidence to be used in court before the trial. This report wasn't on that list.
So, what does this mean?
I couldn't submit this evidence until a connection was proven in court. The connection was just proven by Wright over here. Good job, Wright, my boy.
Huh? I was just doing my job?
Here's a cookie.
No.
No!
Rip.
The dream.
It seems we have come to the end of this trial.
You are becoming a thorn in my side, Worthy. There's been rumors. After all, you were in the defendant's chair just last year.
I apologize for this terrible lack of due diligence on my part.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Please, just give me one day. I'll get to the bottom of what happened, if it's the last thing I do.
You'll better get results this time. Really.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth.
I don't think there's ever been an error this serious in the history of this court. We will grant one further day as the prosecution has requested. Will this be sufficient, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Whatever your punishment for this is, for your sake I hope it's not decisive. Very well. Court is adjourned.
Bring back the defendant back in the dungeon.
And the next episode.
We're going back on tracks.
Yeah, we're gonna be investigating again. Alright, so, jeez, that was a lot to take. But
double
now we
murder,
know.
double the fun.
Yeah, double the freshness. But yeah.
No, they're not fresh
anymore.
anymore.
Now we
They're
gotta
pretty
figure
much
out why
dead.
this particular detective is in technicality 2 places at once. We gotta figure out what the error is in all this. So
I'm telling you, it's a time travel story.
this was Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, with me and Nightshade.
Let's go swimming.
And with that, we are out of here.